So I was never a Twitter user, but I decided to get on Threads because I had a basically a bet with my friends that Threads is going to become bigger than Twitter. And I don't know if it has because I think both companies stopped releasing data. So I don't know whether Threads is now bigger or not. It's definitely doing well, all things considered, because remember last year when they started this thing and they had loads of like users and then it sort of dropped. Now I think we're back. There are millions and millions and millions of active users. So that's kind of cool. So I've been on the platform starting January, and I don't know, like, I'm not sure what I'm getting out of it. Here's what I mean. So first of all, I think one observation is that, in the past, like maybe 20 years now, our social sort of interactions have been rebuilt and rebuilt again and again, many times over now, right? So in the past, and I apologize for going so far back into the past, but before the internet, right, you meet people in real life and you talk to them and there's some sort of like physical space where you're actually interacting, and having an audience of like 30 people is massive. Think about when you were giving a talk or saying something to like 30 people. That's a lot. And then of course we got the internet, and the internet now has these situations where 500 people is not a lot anymore, right? It has to be like thousands, it has to be millions. And but on the other hand, like you had things like forums where you could still create communities and talk to people. Right now you have like Discord, maybe very similar, not exactly the same, but similar. I think like less long term, not even long term, like long form, right? I won't say less long form, because forums provided this long form content. And I think like a lot of us who were online during those periods of time were involved in some sort of very long argument, and you're talking to people and you're debating something, and it's like you were writing these large, long posts. That was kind of cool. But eventually we went into social media, and social media really changed that. So now I'm getting into Threads. I think to me, Threads is this very weird concoction where it's like you're talking to people in these very weird parasocial bubbles while being a parasocial bubble yourself. So let's say that I'm reading my feed and I don't understand what relationship I have with all of you folks, because I feel like a lot of social media, it's like these factories that are farming our emotions, our energy. I'm reading my feed and I read somebody's post maybe about how they're not doing so well mentally today, and we're leaving comments, and you're leaving a comment because you have something to say, because you're feeling something, right? You're doing actual work, and it's empathy, and it's your love towards that person you don't even know, but you want to help them, right? You feel that you want to support them somehow, and something is happening. You're really engaging with this. You're really feeling something, but then where does it go, right? So then you leave this comment, and the person leaves, I don't know, maybe they like your post back, and obviously people just don't have the energy and the ability to, respond to everyone, so that's understandable. But then you don't even know whether it meant something to them, whether it means something to like, tens of comments that are generally supportive. Like, does that individual comment mean anything? And honestly, if somebody has like 500 followers or more, chances are they no longer know who you are. That's why it's a little bit preferable to like talk to people who have small amount of followers, because then there's a chance they're going to actually talk to you and there's going to be some interaction. And at the same time, like even if somebody follows you back, right, you're responding to their comment, to their post, and then there's no guarantee whatsoever that if you are going to post something, they're even going to see it. So right now, after months and months of being on Threads, what I can see is that if I post anything, and I mean anything, about the US elections, oh my God, I get engagement. Like, at least compared to everything else, it's massive engagement. But if I post anything else but the US elections, which is probably the topical thing right now, I get sometimes literally zero engagement. If I post something relating to my art, to anything, music, writing, games, there's no engagement whatsoever. Sometimes if I post something personal, I get right now engagement from literally a couple of people. I'm saying literally because like I have a couple of folks in mind who seem to be seeing my posts and engaging with them, but that's usually it. And like I don't know what it means for me, because am I actually building a relationship with someone? Am I making actual friends? Do people that became part of my feed even know that I exist? And at the same time, when I'm posting something, there's little engagement. Let's say there was more engagement. Would I know people who would comment on my post? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like Threads is taking up quite a bit of my time. I'm frequently evaluating whether it's doing something for me. And for a long time it did, and I was very happy just reading about people's experiences. I was very happy with my feed. I still am. Like, there are so many very nice people in my feed. But I'm also sometimes thinking, am I wasting my time? Like, am I wasting my emotions on folks who don't even know that I exist? Does it mean something? And I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.